Welcome back. This week I'm going to try to answer a question that may not actually have an answer, but I'm going to give it a damn good crack, and I just want to pre-warn you because I feel like this definitely stretches the capabilities of my brain to adequately articulate what's going on in here in terms of what I want to actually express. I have a feeling about what I want to say, but I'm not absolutely positive that I can articulate it correctly. I had this thought. What is the most important thing that humanity should be focusing on? And I posed this question on to my Facebook friends. I said, what's the most important thing for humanity? And the kind of responses that I got back for that were things like one of the major things was empathy, love, humanity, resilience, compassion. And I'd put these down as the qualities of humanity, I guess. What it's like to be a good human, so to speak, for lack of a better way to describe it. Then there was like the physicalists, which, they would say, soil is imperative for survival of the human race, or oxygen, or water, or gravity. All of those are utterly irrefutable. I think that they are required. And then there was this contingent of people who had a more perhaps externalized perspective. Things like, the conversion of war into peace, or, solving the governmental problem is key to humanity's survival. And so I just classify that as an externalized problem. Unless you're in a war, or unless your government is trying to suppress you. I definitely don't feel suppressed. So take that as you will. I feel very free. So the last category I would put into the spirituality category. And these were questions like answers like acceptance, consciousness, and connection to the Creator. Shout out to Izzy for that one. Shout out Izzy. And I think that the spirituality question, the spirituality category, best represents what I want to focus on in this conversation. Because, what happens is, where my mind goes with a question like that, and it might have been in the posing of the question, right? Because if I ask a question, what is the most important thing for humanity? I think you can expect to get answers like that. Perhaps what I was more interested to understand was, what do you think is at the core of our relationship with this universe? Which is a fundamentally different question. But if you can understand what is at the core of our relationship with this universe, then the 75 to 85% of what's on that list just utterly evaporates. And it becomes more about, okay, well, what is this relationship about? What is the fundamental basis of our reality, and how do we relate to that? Because if we could understand what that is, then we would know where to direct our efforts in terms of research or in terms of exploration. So, if you can imagine a situation where you're given a choice, this is the way that humanity will orient itself for the next 200 or 300 years. Okay, imagine what the answer to that question looks like. Are we delving deeper and deeper into the material substance of this reality? So are we talking quantum level exploration? Are we talking larger and larger colliders, particle colliders, to understand what the fundamental particles of this reality are? Are we talking about pure propagation here? Are we talking about like we need to expand? Is that the most important thing? Are we talking about pure intelligence here? Are we talking about, okay, humanity must direct its energy towards maximizing the intellect of the population? Is it an emotional journey that we're on? Is that at the core of our relationship with this universe? So do we focus on understanding our emotional state on a minute-by-minute basis? Is that meditation? Is that the form that takes? Is it psychological? Is it just pure spiritualism? Is it philosophical? You know, are we directing our minds towards solving the most important humanistic or reality-related problems that we can possibly grasp? Is it art? You know, should we be moving towards orientating ourselves towards the development of the most beautiful art? Are we here on this plane to produce some of the most beautiful artwork that has ever graced the universe? Are we here for defense? Is that at the core of our relationship with the universe? You know, when that last one came to my mind, I thought, how ridiculous. How could we be here to defend anything? But the truth is, like, we don't know what's out there. We don't know the reason that we exist. And it is entirely possible that the reason we exist is to formulate some kind of weapon. I won't explore that any further because I do think it's probably the most far-fetched of the theories that I have swimming around in my head. Consciousness. The substantive experiential realm that we inhabit as an individual is this surrounding electrostatic energy that gives birth to the things that we desire. Consciousness is the only true thing that you can experience from within, everything else in this universe is externalized. Everything else comes, as it were, from somewhere else. But consciousness is within. There's an increasing number of scientists, psychologists, computer scientists, quite a large number of them. I've been tracking these people. Their names escape me for now, but that are coming to the realization that consciousness is not emergent, is not an emergent quality. And if you can imagine, a brain is one of the most complex mechanisms that we know of, happens to be in our brain, in our heads. That consciousness is not arising from the complexity of the brain. These scientists are starting to come up with an alternative solution to this. And that is an alternative perspective to see consciousness as the fundamental reality, and that everything else around us is like a virtual reality goggles, that we're looking around and we are in fact creating or bringing into existence the world around us as we look around. The strangeness of the quantum realm, how particles can zap in and out of reality or transmit themselves instantaneously within the orbit of a nucleus in an atom, is just reality at that level. But in the reality that we exist in, the level of vision, the level of sense perception that we experience, all of that falls into line and solidifies into what we call matter, and becomes a hard surface of a table or transparent glass or soft foam. And I just believe that it's the relationship between the consciousness and the reality that we inhabit as being the most important thing that humanity should be focused on. And let me just say this. The list of things that I just called out, empathy, love, humanity, resilience, mathematics, quantum, art, beauty, spiritualism, psychology, all of these things, here is the thing, that I don't believe that humanity will orientate itself towards a specific outcome. I think that humanity is here to experience the reality that has been provided for us. Think about this. If you had to build an enclosure for a highly intelligent, sentient species where they would not know that they're in an enclosure, despite the most advanced technologies that they may be able to develop, a universe would be such an enclosure. In fact, I'm quite sure that I can't think of any other way to do it. And the enclosure would be such that you could house multiple of these highly intelligent sentient species on different galaxies within the universe because of the amount of space. In fact, you could house multiple within the same galaxy. These are the sort of questions I think that humanity should be focused on, or should at least be focused on more than we are currently. I want to leave you with one thought. We may be the only intelligent, sentient species on this galaxy. And if it's one direction that we do not want to go, it's towards annihilation. There are certain things that could wipe out humanity that are well beyond our own control. Meteorites, supernovae, just wiping out all life on the planet. But we are also capable of destroying ourselves as well. Every single one of you is important. Every single one of us may have the seeds to help someone else to achieve some goal that you could not imagine today. I implore you to look at those qualities: empathy, love, humanity, resilience, compassion. Love your fellow persons around you. And I'll see you next time.